Hello, collective. Welcome back to the channel. Gonna tap right in and get you a storyline for the evening. It's about 15 minutes until 7 o'clock on March 20th. Let us tap right in and see what Spirit would like to share with us. Storyline for the collective. Please, Spirit, storyline for the collective. What would you like to let the collective know at this time, please, and thank you. Storyline for the collective, please, and thank you, Spirit. All right, in the central energy, we've got the Ten of Wands. It's a completion of your heavy burden. You did a lot of hard work there. In the challenge position, yeah, leaving it behind, releasing the baggage, letting it go, letting it go. In the subconscious, please, Spirit. Oh, yeah. So you're thinking about this fighting, this. It was never a competition. It was never a competition. It was surviving a freaking curse. It was surviving this unnecessary brutality. You know? People who are anti-war, you know what they do? They weather the storm. And then, so you got all these people warring with you. And here you are, you're just holding yourself together. You're not fighting them. You're not battling them. You're just maintaining yourself, carrying these heavy burdens that they keep putting on you while beating you in the head with sticks. And you're going to leave it behind. This is the challenge. This is what you're doing here. Bunch of jerks. In the recent past, we've got the Two of Pentacles in the reverse. So somebody doesn't have any balance, and they took a gamble. They took a gamble, a very reckless gamble, and now they're frustrated, feeling overwhelmed, because they overcommitted. Reckless. You know, I always thought it was me that was reckless, but apparently it was those moving against me. And you, collective. Intentions, expectations, yep, you know it. So we've got this new beginning. They took a gamble. They knew that you had a new beginning coming here. Yep. So we've got some trickery going on, some deception. There's some betrayal. We've got some very interesting skill sets out there, maneuvering, trying to get into your energy, trying to sneak in there. You may know the truth about it. The lens it's being looked through. Nine of Swords. Somebody's having a nightmare. They're in despair. In the environment, we've got high standards, hard work. Oh, and earlier, you have the mind of an apprentice. So here you are. You're learning new skills. That was a message from the evening. You have the foe. These tricksters were saying that you have a mind of an apprentice. So you're learning new skills. You're adding value to your soul. You are expanding your wealth of knowledge. You're becoming more and more and more. While these ones are all about limitation and holding you there, right? It's not you. They're in despair, having a freaking nightmare because you've got the mind of an apprentice and you're learning new skills to combat whatever it is they got going on here, trying to fight with you. Hopes and fears. The Star. Rejuvenation. So you're learning new skills. You're this bright, shiny, Christed being. You know, a son or daughter of the Most High. You got the light of life in you. The all that is flowing. So you're learning some new skills and how to do this, how to pour in. Now let me cover up our boobies. So how to pour in the waters. I don't know if you can see it now because I covered it up. So she's pouring the waters into the land and into the water at the same time. This is light. A few weeks ago, I had a vision of water, and in the water, there was a heart. It was the heart of it was like a violet color, and it was very translucent, and it was, the tentacles were on the top of the heart, and it was kind of swimming and moving around in the water. So the love of this star being is healing the waters. You're learning new skills on how to manage this, through prayers, through intentional manifestations of the mind. You could be doing this work in the etheric or the astral space and place. So, but you are definitely, you got the mind of an apprentice. Your enemy really dislikes that because they don't know what you're up to. They don't know how to combat you, how to counter what you got going on, because you're increasing in knowledge and awareness and skills, and they don't have those skills, and they're not prepared to spontaneously manage this increase that you are becoming. Let's see, outcome, Spirit. Please and thank you. Whew, tower. We got a tower here. A sudden change, a release. Wow. A massive groundbreaking change is happening now or very soon. A change this large can often strike fear. It's chaos. Folks are moving out of their comfort zone. On the bottom of the deck, we have the Four of Pentacles. Could be somebody's remembering. The Queen of Wands is victorious here for the foundation. And her team is here working, and they're receiving this reward. King of Wands is here, manifesting, making manifestations here. Could be new information about this Empress and her Ten of Cups union. And those who were bringing conflict and upheaval, trying to steal, they're going to be suffering a Five of Pentacles loss. Because you're leaving. You've won and you're out of here. So somebody's overwhelmed. It could be that somebody is is feeling overloaded and overwhelmed because you're leaving. Ooh, there you go. This is a completion of your burden and the beginning of theirs. They're stressed out because you're leaving. You're releasing that baggage. They're challenged because you're moving on. It's time, and it's too late for them to take any action regarding it. They're thinking about this conflict. And their habits, their habitual patterns. They overcommitted. They were reckless. They took a gamble. They did not appreciate you. They didn't care about the beauty that you were bringing to the world, to their life. You've got this new beginning here. The Fool. Unexpected outcome. You're innocent. You're innocent. You're seen as innocent. They're still here in the near future trying to do trickery. There's unfinished business. So they're still here trying to betray and trick and do fraud. There's a 9 of Swords here, trauma and despair. Over reciprocity. They're getting what they gave. Everything that they did to you is being returned to them. So they're not having a good time. You've got the mind of an apprentice. You're learning new skills. You're inseparable. They cannot separate you from love. You're in union. You're the star. You're the rejuvenator, the revitalizer, the healer. And there's no regret. We got a tower here. You could be bringing a tower to the shadow side. Tower to those who are working in the shadows. Tower to the secrets. The secrets are all out. Everyone's in upheaval. Everyone's in chaos because there's the secrets. The secrets are here. And it's a new chapter. It's a new chapter. And you are, the way you love can never be matched. We've got passion here. You've got a new chapter full of passion coming for you. And these ones are in a freaking tower over it. They don't know what to do. Look, they don't know what to do. That these third parties neglected you, and now they're getting detached. They neglected love, and they're getting detached. There's an understanding of how much fun they had cheating you, hurting you, and they missed their opportunity. Yep, they sabotaged their own damn self. They're having anxiety. They don't know what's going to happen next. Of course, they're going to say, you know, they've been used to saying that, you know, you're wrong, whatever. So we've got, you're leaving it behind. It's time, and there's too late to take any action. Yep. Empty. You're releasing the baggage. It's too late for them to take any action. They are challenged because they have an empty cup. There's nothing. They got nothing for what. All this for nothing. All this for nothing. They were creating conflict. It's a habitual pattern that they'll never change. That's what they are. There could be struggling. They're not being supported. They overcommitted. They took a gamble. They didn't appreciate you in their life. They didn't care. They didn't care. You're leaving. You're leaving. They didn't appreciate you. You're leaving. You've got a new beginning, and this is an unexpected outcome. It didn't go the way that they had planned. They've been found guilty. Lying and cheating, deceiving here, betrayal. There's unfinished business here with this trickster, this fraudster, and we got burned. They're in a despair because they're getting what they gave. Whatever they did to others is being done to them. Just another notch in the headboard, babe. Nobody really cares about you. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Thank you for letting me get my rocks off. Now get out. So you're working here with high standards. You've got the mind of an apprentice, and you're inseparable from this love. Yeah, inseparable. You're all tangled up and you cannot get out of it. You're here with this inseparable love. They cannot remove you from that, star. You're all wound up together. They cannot remove you. You got the star here, a rejuvenator, a healer, and there's no regret. No regret. You may be tired. You're emotionally exhausted from dealing with everything, and you deserve a break now, but you have no regrets. There's a tower here. The secrets are here. Tower, secrets. Look, they're feeling crushed. They need an exit plan. Yeah, they're in a tower, feeling crushed. They need an exit plan. Weed seed, they're adrift, blowing in the wind. They weren't willing to settle down or to be responsible. They broke every single promise that they ever made, and they are looking for an escape. They use love as an escape. They're looking for an escape. They got caught up in a whirlwind, and this is ending. It's over. This is the ending. Adventure. So yeah, so there's an adventure. This is a completion of your heavy burden. Somebody's overwhelmed and stressed out. They don't know what you're going to do next. You're king or queen of that mountain there. They're challenged because the relationship is ending. You're leaving that baggage, moving on. It's too late for them to take any action. Their cup is empty. They were not fulfilled. Vow. They're challenged by your vow. Your vow with spirit, your vow with the divine. You're inseparable here. You're tangled up, and you can't free yourself, and they can't free you from it either. You're inseparable. You are here. And you got the mind of an apprentice. It could be that somebody wants you in the light and somebody wants you in the dark. Look, so we've got competition. They're thinking about this competition. They've got habitual patterning. They'll never change. They're not being supported now. They're bound to their commitments. They overcommitted. They didn't like the beauty that you were bringing to their world, so you're leaving. You're taking your beauty and you're leaving. And they're bound to these commitments that they made trying to get you all tangled up. But the only thing you got tangled up in was a whole big old pot of love. And you're learning stuff. Gain. You're leaving and you're taking your gain. This is the conclusion of this mess. You win. You've got your new beginning here. A new innocent beginning. You're seen as innocent and they're seen as guilty. This is an unexpected outcome. They're seen exactly for who they are. They're guilty, trying to frame you, trying to commit fraud and say, lies, all because they didn't like you. Stubborn. So they were arrogant, they're stubborn, they don't want to hear it. They're here in the future. Maybe this trickster, they're still trying to steal, or maybe there's unfinished business here. We've got burned, so there's a flame here. Pride. I don't know what burned means. Okay, I mean, I could say that what I think it is, but I'll just leave that to you because it's your story as far as whatever it means to you. We've got trauma and despair because they're giving what they gave. They're getting reciprocity. Just another notch in the headboard. Nobody really cares. Actions speak louder. It was a great idea. Yay! Great idea. You got the mind of an apprentice. You're hard at work, learning new skills. They cannot separate you from love, and you are tangled up. And it could be that you are in, your love is always there despite the distance. You've got the mind of an apprentice. You're learning new things. And those who are tangled up in this web, they're protesting. They could be protesting because they can't free you from love, and they can't get themselves free from this magic and crap that they were trying to stick you in. They can't separate you from love. And they can't separate themselves from a sticky situation. You're the star, the rejuvenator. You have no regrets. You're emotionally exhausted from dealing with everything, and you deserve a break now. You deserve a break. Emotionally, mentally exhausted. You deserve a break. You could be going into the place of your dreams. The place of your dreams. Whatever that is. Your fortune. There's a tower here. Everybody's in chaos. Their secrets are out. They're crushed. They're hurting emotionally right now. They need an exit plan. It's all falling apart. It's all coming down. They're so mad. It's like you got people out there faking their death and all this other kind of crap. Yeah, overloaded again. Overloaded, overwhelmed in the recent past and in the outgoing energy. Overcommitted, overloaded, overwhelmed. So yeah, this is their new story because you're leaving. It's got strategy. So yeah, as predicted, you are stable and you are okay. And those who are trying to rob you are all stressed out because there's evidence of what they've done to these sweethearts. These sweethearts persevered. And these ones who were indulging on your energy and your pain and suffering, they are now frightened because justice is at hand. Why? Because they bullied a good moral person. So, completion of your heavy burden. These ones are overwhelmed. Wail, great worry over nothing. You've reached the top of that hill, and we've got cracked cup in the reverse. Dissatisfaction with life. You are satisfied. It's a great worry over nothing. You're the king or queen of that mountain. These ones are stressed out. They don't know what you're going to do next because you reached your goals. You're at the top of that thing. Yeah, you've got some hard work ahead. Could have made a vow, or maybe this person has a vow. You're leaving it behind. It's too late for them to take any action. Their cup is empty. Yeah, they're gonna have to work real hard in the future. We've got the Five of Wands, competition, a habitual pattern that they'll never change. They're not being supported. They're bound to their equipments or commitments. The most difficult part of a situation is over. You're the rainbow. You're going over the rainbow bridge. You've got your boat is in, your ship is in, money or property through an inheritance. So you've got your reward coming in. And we've got dolphin, financial gain, usually coming from something you did in the past. So you're getting your boat is in. Your boat is in, and you got this rainbow here, and these ones are like so messed up in the head over this. They thought you were the bad person, but they didn't get your money. It was all for the money. They wanted your money. So they overcommitted. They took a gamble. They were being reckless. They did not appreciate you, and you're leaving. You've taken it as far as you can, and you're out of there. You've got gain. You're taken the fruits of your labor, and you're going. And you got tankered. A celebration, fun, enjoyment. A new beginning. You've been found innocent. This is an unexpected outcome for those who are arrogant and stubborn. They've been found guilty. They were lying and cheating. They were lying and cheating. You were never involved in this sexual fantasy that all of these ones were playing in. This was never the top of your priority list. But they were trying to frame you as though it was. They wanted to paint you as a prostitute, as a Jezebel. But that's what they were doing. That's the energy they were playing in, and that's the energy they kept trying to put on you, wearing masks and stuff. So we've got trickery and fraud here. We've got unfinished business. We've got burned pride. And there could be a man. Dealings are really, so there could be a man here. And then we've got staff. You will be taken care of in difficult times. So there could be a man. Those with pride could be dealing with a man with a staff. And who has the staff? But the shepherd, right? Who's the shepherd of the flock? That would be what? Christ is sitting here dealing with these tricksters and fraudsters. There's unfinished business. We've got burned. We've got pride. And they have to deal with a man who's got the staff. Yeah. He's taking care of this stuff. In difficult times, he's taking care of it. They're in despair here because they're getting reciprocity for what they did. Conquest, just another notch in the headboard. They thought it was a great idea. Something in January. They could have done something in January. And we got horseshoe in the reverse. So they're not having any good luck. They thought it was a great idea, but it didn't bring them any luck. It got them some bad stuff. You got the Eight of Pentacles here. You're working with high standards. You got the mind of an apprentice. You're very absorbent to knowledge and new things. We've got bow. So bow is in the reverse. So they can't separate you from love. They're tangled up in a sticky situation. They're protesting because they're not highly thought of. You are. They wanted to be seen as you, but they're not highly thought of. And it could be that they don't think highly of you. They don't like you. They don't think highly of you. They're tangled up in their dark little web here. And they can't, look, this is the energy they're in. And this is the energy you're in. And they're protesting because they wanted you here. But that's not the way it went. We got firecracker. There's some excitement going on. Firecracker, you're the star. You've got a whole lot of energy here. You have no regrets. You're emotionally exhausted from dealing with everything. You deserve a break now. And it could be that your dreams are about ready to come true. You're walking into your fate, into your future. October. Something about October. We've got a tower here for those holding secrets. They're hurting emotionally. They need an exit plan. They're overloaded. And we've got the star has guaranteed success. They're overloaded because the star has guaranteed success. And we've got shield in the reverse. This says you need to defend yourself. And it's like, no, the star has guaranteed success. There's no need for you to defend yourself. Money is coming to you. So these ones are all stressed out. They need an exit plan. This wasn't the way it was supposed to work out. You were supposed to be cursed, not them. They did all these curses, but it was supposed to stick to you and it didn't. They're here dealing with the shepherd, a man with a shepherd, like the staff, right? The shepherd's staff. So they're here dealing with somebody of authority. Look, marriage in the reverse. So this is the completion of your heavy burden. They're overwhelmed and stressed out. There's no marriage between you. There's no relationship, no partnership, no friendship, no contract, no agreement, no forgiveness, no permission to stay in the energy. You're at the top of that mountain. You're just there exploring. There's a great worry over nothing, and you are satisfied with the way things are going. You're leaving them behind. It's too late for them to take any action. They have an empty cup, and they've got a lot of hard work ahead. They're challenged by your vow with each other and your vow with spirit. They're challenged because they're not a diamond. They didn't get the gift. They're not the gift. We got affairs with your family in the reverse. They're no longer part of your family tree. They've been evicted out of your life. Fear, worry, tension, dagger. Yeah, there's a whole lot of stuff. You know, how many times did they wield that dagger there against you? So we've got the Five of Wands. Conflict, habits that'll never change. Nobody's supporting them. They're bound to their commitments, their contracts. We've got Fan. They're bound. Yeah, so they're thinking about your money, your ship coming in, your financial gain because of what you've done here in the past. You have been resilient. And the most difficult part of a situation is over. You've got romance, celebration, party. Oh yeah, these ones are mad because you've graduated with honors most likely, and they cannot separate you from love. They simply can't do it. And they're leaving. The chair is empty. They're out of your life. They're out. They are out. You're leaving their life. You're leaving them with an empty chair. Whatever, it's what they chose. They didn't want you in their life. They didn't appreciate you. So they have no balance. You're leaving. You've taken it as far as you can go. You're leaving. You're taking the fruits of your labor and you're going. There's a celebration, fun, enjoyment. You've got advice from a friend. So you've got a dog, which is a good friend, could be guiding you. You're an apprentice here. You've got the mind of an apprentice. So you are, learning. You're seen as innocent. You're moving on into your new chapter, into your new future. Unexpected outcome. Those who are moving against you have been found guilty. They're very stubborn. They don't want to hear it. The fact is that sex and sexual matters were never part of your thing here. It was not part of your thing. You were busy working on your skills here. As the mind of an apprentice, you're busy adding value to your soul. And that's not just out there being a little hoe bag. You're actually learning and about yourself, about whatever's going on here. Older man. So this could be a younger man. Or it could be an older man who's trying to hide the fact that they're trying to hide. You're not going to have anything to do with an older man. This older man has been found guilty. You're not having any relations with this person. There's no sexual relations. Maybe they can't do it anymore. We've got the tricksters, the fraudsters, the thieves, unfinished business. We've got burned. There's a flame here for the pride. The shepherd is here with his staff. And it says chain of events that will affect your life. The chain is in reverse. So it's like there's no more, like the chain is broken. Like there's no more connection with them. There's no marriage. There's no connection. They're being evicted out of the family tree. They're in despair. They're gonna get what they gave. We got January. Something may have happened. We've got they're not having good luck. It's just another notch in the headboard. They thought that was really a great idea. They're a pig. They're greedy. You've got the mind of an apprentice. You're learning new skills. They cannot separate you from the one you love and the one who loves you. They are tangled up and bound in those commitments that they made, that they tried to stick you in. They're protesting because they're not highly thought of. It's like, what the heck? And we've got box in the reverse. This says you will receive a gift. So they're not getting the gift. They're not thought highly of. They're tangled up in this web in the dark that they've been playing in. They can't separate you from your love in the light. This has got a lot of light in it. And you're the star. You have no regrets. You deserve a break from this. You know, you're emotionally and mentally exhausted. And it's time for you to go have fun. So we've got October, and then we've got September, October, September. Something's going on there. Whether that has to do with your love or whether these ones, that's still to be said. We've got, you will be playing a different role. Yeah, you've got the mind of an apprentice. You're learning new stuff. Got this wonderful star quality and revitalizing essence, energy. And we've got the fly, a period of ill health and depression, but it came out in the reverse. So you are healthy, revitalized. It's like you're processing ill health and depression. It's like you're bringing life and light to these things, and you're undoing it. So this says you will be playing a different role, and it looks to me like what the star is doing is bringing healing, a great healing. It's your fated role. You're a healer. You're a flippin' healer, and these ones were trying to curse you for money. Wild. So they're in a tower. Their secrets are out. They're looking for an exit plan. They're hurting emotionally. They're overloaded. They overwhelmed. They overcommitted. And they've got a major challenge to overcome here. They got mountains to climb because the star has already done so. The star has already done so. And they're there. Guaranteed success. There is no reason that they need to protect themselves. The money is going to be coming to them, and there's no danger. Like, there's not going to be any danger there. There's going to be great happiness. Great happiness. Reconciliation. So these ones have sorrow over a loss, right? They got major challenges to overcome, but you've got love, deep affection, and caring. Oh, star, you've got wonderful news coming for you. So I hope that this brings clarification to something you already knew, and I'll see you on the next one, everybody. Bye.